Deidre, welcome.
The class.
Yes, come join us. So you can use the arrow button on the keyboard if you'd like.
Okay, short-term goals, we're implementing like internal cross-training within our department to help our staff perform tasks that are outside of their normal responsibilities. So that kind of got pushed kind of on their own when I went on maternity leave last year.
Yeah.
So they kind of got forced into all the things that I took on that they weren't really doing in the office. So Erica stepped up a lot to help cross-train there, and then I did a lot of cross-training with Patrick for a lot of the month-end and year-end processes that he would normally do. So this last month, for September, I did the month-end all by myself within the office, so there's been some cross-training in there on a lot of the duties, so that was a goal that we crossed off. And then being able to work with other departments to make sure that we're accurately tracking all of the incoming revenue that's coming in and making sure that it's getting allocated and distributed to the proper funds. So it's gotten a little better with communication within departments, letting us know that they've got funds coming in, so we know where to deposit it when it hits the bank account. So that's been good. Ours are pretty easy, short-term wise. Long-term, just implementing more processes for cash management, forecasting and risk management to enhance our financial stability and proactively addressing potential risks. So I've got into more of like our investment stuff and talking to Patrick and learning all the different investment accounts that we have, reaching out to them. They do send us like trainings and stuff that they have that we can get into. So trying to sign up to do a lot more of that so we can help understand like our investments and try to do a little bit better with cash management and spreading our money out and investing where we can to get the most bang for our buck. And implementing just work our Tyler software. They've been a little better with our support tickets, and then we've learned to reach out to other counties right now that use Tyler and have processes in place already with steps that we were getting help from Tyler. So we kind of have our own little treasurer's Bible now with Tyler processes and everything that we were having issues with because their support was horrible for us. So everything seems to be working a little better within our department.
Nice.
Excellent.
Okay.
Is there any financial advisor attached to the accounts or?
There is each company that we have, there is somebody that does reach out. They'll get a hold of Patrick or us and let us know that if our CDs are reaching maturity, like they'll advise us on like, hey, what do you guys wanna do with this? I recommend this, so they do make suggestions, which we usually kind of just follow with what, since we're not too knowledgeable on that aspect of everything and what we're trying. So yeah, we do listen to them and follow what their recommendations are.
Okay. Do you have, when it comes to like working with other electeds, Deidre, this is gonna be from me not understanding. So
That's okay.
just, I would
No, you're
love
fine.
your understanding. I had this incident where I was trying to figure out why the LURA wasn't receiving the money that they were owed. And I went to the assessor and we looked at the assessed valuation of what should have been collected for LURA. And then we looked at what had been collected and they were different. Where do you feel like the treasurer's role is in ensuring that the taxes are actually collected?
So I know when we get everything, as far as when you guys approve and certify the mill levies, that all that information comes from the assessor's office and then gets inputted, and I think it might be like a manual input on Tyler on our side.
Yeah.
So it could have been like an error input, and I think that's what the case was, like it got put in incorrectly on our end with that. It did get catched when it was brought up with everything. I know Patrick did reach out to Tyler for help, cause I think they did initially help him set that up
Yeah,
when we put everything in there when the LURA started.
yeah,
So I think it just initially, when we did the conversion with Tyler and everything, I think it just got inputted incorrectly when it got initially set up.
And then it not getting dispersed is like another Tyler issue.
Yeah, so Tyler on the back end has a process every month end when we process, all the entities get all their checks for what we've collected for revenue for the taxes based off of those percentages on the back end. So it just pushes it through a flow system in there and we just look at the numbers, make sure there's no negatives in there that we need to adjust within the fund balances. So the system
Should
should
be
work the
automatic.
way and prompt it out the way it needs to. So if it's inputted on the back end for some reason wrong, then that's where the error is gonna come from.
Okay, it's not because the assessor and treasurer don't work together,
It's
it's
just, yeah,
because
they
it's their
should,
software.
yeah, they should initially work, like communicate on each end with everything.
Yeah.
But I think that year-end process with everything, it's a manual input on the treasurer's side
Got it, okay,
for everything.
cool, that's awesome. The only other question I would have is, I love this, so that's not a question, that's a statement. I think it's fantastic. I think that the treasurer, none of the electeds change as often as the VOCC because we're the only ones term limited. And I know that we got a training from Patrick to come in and tell us like what he does. I think in the future, it would be wonderful if there were also more training from the treasurer and like maybe even check-ins or just education so that
Yeah.
these electeds could understand what's going on since we change over so often. So if there's a way that we can help fund capacity to actually build that in or whatever is needed from the treasurer's office to help make that happen, I would love to know it.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I know I've come in there with so many questions.
that's
I've been
fine.
like, I'm so dumb, but I don't know what this is.
It helps.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Deidre.
Okay.
One thing about, one of these long-term goals is regarding budget-wise, it seems like we're not sure whether some of the funds that aren't going anywhere are invested in ways that we get returns on them. I think we just had a question about this morning and so what I'm gathering from this is you guys are wanting to get processes in place that you can identify which funds can be invested in ways that will benefit and bring in more revenue.
Yeah, and then just I think more, I guess I'd be more communication with like what your guys' goals are and where you guys want to, with money, like all community, like we talk with finance a lot with everything. We don't know, like, I guess we hear it from them on what you guys want as far as money wise, and then we just talked to Candace last week, she was wanting to kind of the balances on the accounts from one year to the next to help you guys understand how the money's sitting and where the money's sitting right now.
Yeah.
So I think that's just an open communication that we can all have and like help you guys understand like all of the money sitting in one big pot and then it's not separate, like everybody has their own funds, yes, but it's all in one big pot that it's distributed that way. And it took a little bit for us too, me at least, cause I came from straight accounting background, which is different from government accounting. So understanding that government accounting is a little different than regular bookkeeping for a business. So it's just everything sits in one big pot and gets divvied up from there. And then the investments, I think from there initially were always split up. And I think it's like statutory, I think is like the treasurer's discretion as far as where the money should get divvied into.
Yeah.
And I know the VOCC always had an input as far as, hey, I know Patrick doesn't wanna always leave a whole bunch of money sitting out in the main bank account. We wanna try to move that into investments to earn money on it. Sitting there, if it's just gonna be sitting in an account right now, then we should be earning on it.
Do you know if the mine closure fund is in any investment scenario right now?
No, I don't, well, it's hard to say, cause everything is one big pot where all the money's sitting and then it gets split up from there
Okay.
with everything. So we have 3 different investment companies that the money's sitting on with some other small CDs that are out there with everything. So a part of that, we could think of a part of those funds for that mine closure is possibly sitting out in investments, not just sitting in the main bank account.
So that would be great to know
Yeah,
at the beginning and maybe even multiple times throughout the year, so that we stay informed. If this is our job, is to figure out the budget. I feel like
Like
working with
knowing,
the
yeah.
treasurer and like
Yeah.
having that open communication about where our money is it's just, I would love to build
Yeah,
that.
and that can definitely be something where we can work with finance and Candace and stuff, and getting like a report to you guys every month and say like, was the beginning balance of the year. This is where this money's sitting in the main account and this is in the investments accounts.
Yeah.
So, and that's something that it's not that hard to generate, so we could do a report or something to get to you.
Great.
Cool, that'd be wonderful. Thanks, Deidre.
You're welcome. Anything else?
Easy.
Thank you.
Okay,
You had an
Thank
easy
you.
one, good job.
Thank you.
you're welcome.